Hi everyone, this is Jen. This is the third episode of this series of using Firefly to enhance teaching and learning. Just a few tips for how you can make better use of this resource this year. In episode 3, this is all about setting up a page, and what I want to do is just show you some examples of how different people are setting up their pages in Firefly, just to give you an idea of what's possible and some of the pitfalls that you can run into. So there are a variety of templates available to you. They're not as easily customizable as you might wish they are. So it does make a difference what you choose initially. It's hard to change your template once you've made a decision. You can just delete the page and start again, but that might cause you a bit of time. So the question is, what are some of the different templates and layouts that you can choose, how some people are using blogs, and what some of the assignments and other fancy pages look like. And I'm going to add a little caveat here, which is to think as much as you can about linking and embedding, especially this year when you're setting up pages, because we will be transitioning to a new virtual learning environment after this year, and you want your content to be easily transferable to whatever that new virtual learning environment is. So whenever possible, think about linking, think about embedding to Google Docs or other documents that you have. And trying to limit the amount of time you put into setting up your pages, because you might have to do it all again next year. Having said that, what does it look like when you're setting up a page? So I'm going to my Social Studies 6 page. Anytime you want to set up a new page, you're going to use this Create button down here. And you can see all of the navigation that goes on here, which is one of the annoying things about Firefly. But as soon as I hit that Create page, because I'm on this page right here, Social Studies 6, it'll create a new page for me right here at the bottom of that list. So let's go ahead and do that so you can see what it looks like. If I give it a title, then I can choose a template. And here's all the templates that are available to you. These ones up here are just layouts. And I'll show you in a second how a few teachers are varying the layouts of their pages that make the content a little bit more accessible and visible for the students. If you choose a layout and you start in that layout and you want to change it, it is possible to do that, but it can mess up the formatting. So it's worth thinking about it before you start. The ones down here all have slightly different properties. They can be, they look different, but they also have dates attached to them. You can attach dates. You can create self-marking quizzes like here in this class test. And this one's like a forum, which is like a student discussion board that you could make. And there's also blogs, which people are using in different ways. Feel free to experiment with those, but I think those ones are going to be the ones that where the content is the most difficult to transfer from this to our new virtual learning environment. So I'll go ahead and click on a plain template, and I'll set it up here. Okay, so here's what it looks like. And here are my options for setting things into my page. You know, the most useful things probably are sticking images in. There's also, you can also type in here, and I can choose from these are my choices in terms of formatting about typing onto the page. So if I wanted to give it a title, for example, I could do this. If I wanted to put my title into kind of like a bit more of a poppy looking box, I could do, whoops. Yes. Okay. It's limiting in terms of, you know, I might like to change the font of that title, for example, and you're really limited in terms of what you do with font and color and layout. So, but that's an example of what that can look like. I can really easily embed YouTube videos. That's super easy with this tab right here. I can embed Google Docs really easily. And anytime you have some embed code, you want to embed something, there's an embed tab right here. An embed tab right here that you can use. It's also really easy to put a gallery of photos or a single image in that makes it stand out for the students. So when I'm finished setting up my page, whichever way, the other important thing is creating links. So this link tab you saw in the navigations episode, but this is the link tab right here. It doesn't work with Control K the way the rest of the internet does. So you're going to have to copy and paste whatever URL link that you want into that tab. And notice if you click open link in a new window, that'll allow your students to keep their main page open while they open something else. Okay, so I think that's everything about page setup. I'll show some examples. You can click publish when you're done, but I'm going to click delete so that the students don't wonder what's going on. Okay, so here's a page in Matt Russell's English class, and you can see how he's used the columns set up to lay out the information. He's got some links in here too for the students that they can use, and he's used these section headings to help them out. And of course, consistency with those section headings will help the students a lot as well. This is a page set up in Sandra's geometry class, and maybe algebra, now that I look at it. Anyway, math. So she's embedded a YouTube video for the students to watch, and she's also embedded PowerPoint presentations, which if you like using PowerPoint presentations or Google Slides presentations, is a good way to put your content, make it accessible to the students through Firefly, but make it really easily transferable to a new learning environment next year. And this is from Nicole's science class. So you can see how she's embedded a Google Calendar, which is really useful for the students. And she's also using these heading bars to make things clear to students. So she's got Google Slides up in here, and you can see how the students can flip through the PowerPoints from class without even opening them in Google Slides. So that can be a quick way for them to access information as well. Okay, so that's a little bit of templates and what's possible here in terms of setups. Now I wanted to show also a couple of the fancier things like using assignments and blogs. So if I take a look in, I think it's in Matt's class. Yeah, so Matt's been using the blogs function. So he set up a page called Daily Agendas, and he set it up using the blogs template. And it means that each week he can create an agenda for the class and explain what's happening that day. I also do this with grade 6, and I find it as an easy way if there's a few different links that they have to use that week, or places that they need to link, they need to go on their computer. It's a good way to give them those links. And you can also use this to let them know what the homework is. So some of the students, the students missed Edmodo after we transitioned from that because they felt like it was really easy to know what the homework was each day. Because it was right there as soon as they opened their Edmodo. So if you can train your students to get used to these blogs as a way to find out what's their task for that week. I know also the math department uses the Google Calendar in the same way so that the students have a consistent place to go to find out whatever their homework is at home. Okay, so some of the other fancier things that you have in terms of templates available to you are things like assignments and quizzes. And I'm going to talk about those in the next episode, episode 4, which is about marking student work using Firefly and giving them feedback.